A finite amount of opportunities that present themselves.
A lot slower. And it's been a gift
to stamp moments and memories. And I agree with all of that.
Come down here, go all in on my thing.
And finish it off, take the
When it
lesson.
kind of changes you. We start our own brew pub, and it was.
Don't cut it. Don't you dare cut that.
What if your biggest business breakthrough came from a maxed out credit card, a gut feeling, and a one-way flight to New York? Today's guest, Deepak Sharma, built a 7-figure content agency with over 500 million views, starting in a $400 attic with no camera skills, no team, and no plan. He interviewed Andrew Tate before the world even knew who that was, and scaled his life by betting on faith over fear. Deepak Sharma, brother, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Brother, thanks for having me, man. Beautiful space. I mean, this is incredible.
Bro, the funniest thing, I just realized, we met through a mutual friend, David Jackson, shout out, awesome guy. And he's like, yo, you got to meet this Deepak guy. And we're trying to connect for last week a little bit, both busy, this and that. I'm glad you're here finally. But I remember he told me, he's like, this guy interviewed Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? So I'm like, I look it up and I'm like, bro, I literally remember watching this during COVID.
I can't believe it.
Just pissed off at the world. Like, fuck everything. Fuck this bullshit in Canada.
Yep.
And I'm watching your interview with Tate. Like, depression is not real.
No, man, he goes hard, man. That was an interesting time in when I had actually asked him to come on the show. It all came about on Twitter randomly. He literally tweeted out, he's like, looking to be on some podcasts. And I'm like, I got this small show. Why would this guy come on? He wasn't as big as he is today and like as controversial as he is today. But, he was really, really big on Twitter. My boy sends me the tweet. He's like, bro, you got to get him on. I'm like, he's not going to come on my show, bro. He's like, just try. I try, and lo and behold, he comes on. I was going to do it with him in person, but then COVID just happened. So it was my first virtual episode. Yeah.
Holy fuck. But dude, you've been in media for a long time, man.
Yeah, we've been doing it for about 4.5 years as a company, but the podcast around 6 now, yeah.
Dude, what is that like? I mean, I'm just starting now. This is like, nothing is even live yet at this time.
Yeah.
I got like 7 recorded. I got to get it out there, but I always wanted to do one, have one, just get the information out there. Give me some tips. Tell me something.
You're a natural already, bro. So as long as you're a connector and you're genuinely curious, that's it. I hate when people overly script a show. That's just me personally.
Yeah.
Like there's a ton of people out there who interview.
Yeah.
I prefer to have a conversation.
I agree. I tried my first one. I like, ChatGPT, the fucking whole thing. And I was like, dude, I'm literally killing my own conversation. Like, it's not going anywhere.
Well, I mean, you're a businessman. You're in sales. You're in real estate. You understand that the human connection, the human experience, it's about conveying trust.
True.
And the easiest, most natural way to do that is being yourself. I know it sounds so corny. Everyone says be yourself.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not practicing what I'm about to say. It's just
comes out.
Flow.
Yeah. Man, I love that, bro. What's your origin story? Where are you from? What's the story?
Great question, bro. So I was born in India, in Punjab. I'm Punjabi.
Of course, bro. Why else would you be? Look at this guy, warrior class. If you don't know the Sikh Punjabis, warrior class, right?
Appreciate it, brother. So my parents brought me over to Canada when I was less than 1, so I can barely claim to be Indian, but I was born there. Grew up in Canada. When you have immigrant parents, I think the big thing is doctor, lawyer, engineer. That's what success looks like.
That's it.
So I go down the path and I end up disappointing them. I'm like, told them I'm going to be a doctor my whole life, a heart surgeon. My heart wasn't in it. So I decided to go into business. I went to University of Ottawa. Yeah. Struggled, barely got by, but I got a professional degree in drinking and networking and like actually,
as you should, right?
That was my real business degree. So, long story short there, I got this 9-to-5 job out of college, like a lot of people do.
Yeah.
I worked for the federal government of Canada in the pensions department.
Oh.
Super exciting stuff, man.
Right.
I hated it. Hated every minute. Bro, I actually wanted to put a bullet in my brain. I couldn't stand it. I felt like there was something more for me out there. I wanted to be this entrepreneur. I wanted to, make something out of my life, but I didn't have a business idea. I mean, I had a million ideas. I didn't have the execution at the time. So I'm slaving away at this job, and I got all my friends telling me, yo, bro, Deep, whenever we hang out, like we have such deep conversations. Like you should have your own radio show, YouTube channel, podcast. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. You guys are just saying that. Enough people told me that I decided to start my podcast. It's not that deep. In my attic apartment that I was paying $400 a month for, cash under the table.
Sweet.
Wasn't even a legal spot. That's where I filmed that episode that you were talking about. Bro, but I'm so proud that I put that piece of content out. I didn't know about lighting. I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know anything. And so I learned very quickly I'm not good at this, like everything else, but I'm decent at this part.
Right.
So I hired my brother, and my brother to this day still works for me.
Wow.
And I started to interview really high-level entrepreneurs in my city. And I got a call one day from this one guy. His name's Tony Greco. Shout out to Tony Greco. He owned a bunch of gyms in Ottawa, and he trained celebrities like Rihanna, Mike Fisher, a bunch of hockey players, and stuff like that. And he was a celeb. He owned 16 gyms in the city. Had him on my show. Calls me up one day. Yo, Deep, you do a video, right? Bro, I never made a video in my life. I knew how to hit record on the camera. Barely that.
Yeah.
Of course I make videos, Tony. What do you need? Yo, Deep, you do websites, right? Of course I do websites. What do you need? All right, finally he calls me. He asks me, you do sales, right? Of course. What do you need me to sell? I didn't even know what sales was. Long story short, my first deal ever in business is with the city of Ottawa for $12,000 a month. And I'm making a lot more from this than my day job. And I'm like, one thing led to another. Decided to go all in on this thing. Never look back.
Done. That's it. That's beautiful, man. Bro, and you know what? I love that you said that, because I feel like, you shouldn't always say yes to everything, of course. But if you do, you have to see it through.
100%.
And if you have that in you where you feel like you deserve more in life, you can say, yes, I will, to whatever it is, and figure it out. Honestly, being in Colombia, doing business in Colombia, it's a way different world, and I'm sure you noticed a little bit.
100%.
I don't know anything. I don't know everything, but I know that I will get to the end. I will get to the finish line. It's the conviction.
You'll connect the dots.
It's the conviction.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people out there that, most of the guys that work for me, they're working on the hotel right now. I went today. I brought a friend. He's laughing his ass off. He's like, bro, I can't believe this is the mistakes they're making. And I'm like, dude, this is normal. This is just normal. It's not about knowing, how to do something. It's about having the conviction to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's what a lot of people miss sometimes. Make sure that when you say yes, you're willing to go to the end of the line.
100%. 100%. For me, that's what I did when I said yes to this. Man, 1 minute later, I called my boy. Yo, you make video, right? You'll help me out.
That's it. You'll figure it out.
I'll give you whatever. I call my other boy. Yo, can you make a website for me? And that's when I realized that my superpowers, I'm lazy. I don't want to actually do the thing.
That's it.
But I do know how to connect the dots. And I think it's important to also have the self-awareness. If you're not that type of person, maybe don't say yes to something you can't fulfill on.
Exactly. And that's my biggest thing. I mean, I try every single day that I wake up to do absolutely nothing. And every day I have to do something, I'm like, man, I failed. I got to try again. And if I can get through an entire day without having to do anything, and the only thing that happens is my entire life just flows into me, and people just ask me questions, what should I do here, 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 here? Then I'm the happiest.
Well, then you attract opportunity, and then you find people who are probably a lot better at doing the thing
100%,
anyways.
100%.
Why not enable that person to be in their zone of genius versus me trying to do everything?
Yep.
And look, I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm completely past that. With my content agency, I still have to do a lot of the things, but I get to do them. And I'm every day finding, okay, I can build a SOP for this. Maybe AI can do this. Maybe my assistant can do this. But at the beginning, you do have to. You gotta get your hands dirty, and you gotta 100%. Be willing to clean the floors too. You can't have 100%. Too much of an ego about it either. That's where I think people get it wrong, especially people my age. They think delegate everything right away. It's like, no, you gotta. Even when I started my podcast, I edited every single video. I taught myself how. I did teach myself how to use the cameras, which mics to get, lighting, everything. And then, only then, when I found out, okay, I can do this, low use of my time, I call up my brother. Yo, bro, I'll give you $50 an episode. Can you take care of this for me? And he loves it. He was studying media design and all this type of stuff. He loves that stuff. He gets joy out of it. Okay, bro, you do it then. I'll find a way to make more than that off an episode.
I agree 100%, man. I agree 100%. I mean, look,
This right here, I had to build that myself. Me and Santiago, you met him.
Yeah.
We had to, over a weekend, couple of beers, this and that. We're like, yo, man, boss is cracking the whip, bro. We got to get to work. You know, we're just making jokes. Like, had to do it because the specifics that we got from the expert, like 18 millimeter depth, 88 millimeter width, then 5 centimeters behind for the cushion, for the air, for the airflow, for the sound. And I'm like trying to find somebody here in Colombia to do that. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't know how to do that. I could try to figure it out. $5,000. I'm like, bro, what? Like,
I'll just do it.
Yeah, I'll just do it. You know what I mean? Like, I know how to do this shit. Like, I'm Serbian, bro. Like, we know how to work with our hands like since like 3. You know, like,
go, man.
if I can't hold a drill, then I'm not a, you know. So we cracked it out, and you're right. You can't have the ego all the time. You should find that balance of like something say no to, something say yes to. If you say yes, have the conviction to finish.
Yeah, it'd be one thing if you had to build like 30 of these. You know, you'd
Then you
find
gotta
it. You'd
figure it out.
figure out a
Yeah,
way.
you'd figure out a way.
You'd be, bro.
But if this is
maybe
the
not
roadblock,
5K, but
if I didn't do this, we wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be ready.
exactly.
You know what I mean? So then I finally found the guy. He's finishing the other one. Now we're good, right?
Boom.
So, dude, tell me about what was your darkest challenge?
Oh man, this is a good one. Well, for me, when we were talking about this a little bit before the podcast. I grew up playing football.
Right.
I played my whole life all the way through high school. My identity was wrapped so much in being an athlete. I thought I'm going pro, bro. There's no way I'm not going pro. Especially like I was pretty good, you know. And so to me, like I'm around all my peers. I'm on all-star team. I'm like, okay, I have what it takes, and I have the mentality. But my body was breaking down. I was playing both sides of the ball, whatever. Long story short, I had to get surgery on my shoulder. And now, like, my whole identity's shattered. Like, wait, who am I, like, without this? And so I go to college. I do the, I check the boxes, the immigrant parent things. I'm like, I got to go to college and, get a normal job, I guess, or something. Yeah. And when I got to college, a lot of my friends didn't go to the same college as me. And I had to basically start from zero. Not only do I not have my identity of playing football anymore, I was getting looks, but I couldn't. Once you've had surgery and you're injured and all this stuff, you can't play. I had to really confront, what is my value to this world? I wrapped it all up in being an athlete. I thought that's what it was. Now that that's taken away, oh shit, I did get a scholarship, but I'm like, I don't care about school. Like, I care about people. I care about whatever. I don't care about sitting and doing some calculus class or some linear algebra. Like, this means nothing to me. So, dude, actually, I ended up gaining, like, you know how they talk about the freshman 15? I gained, like, the freshman 55, bro.
Fuck.
I was drinking, like pints of beers with my boys every day.
Yeah.
I was under so much stress and the cortisol and whatever. Dude, I ballooned up to like 310 pounds. I'll never forget sitting and looking at the scale. And I was like lean 215, whatever. I'm in my second year of college and I'm like walking up a flight of stairs and I'm out of breath. Yeah. At the end of walking up these stairs, I'm like looking at the mirror and I'm a fat fuck. I'm like, I would make fun of these people. Yeah. And I became one silently, didn't even realize it. And, that moment when I looked at that scale, I'm like, yo, bro, like, this isn't me. Like, I gotta find my mojo again, my gangster. Like, I might not be a pro athlete. Let me keep training like one. So I ended up getting all the weight off, and really, that led me down the road of obsessing over podcasts and learning from like David Goggins and these Navy SEALs and these crazy entrepreneurs and these people who do insane things. And so I really am happy I went through that, because I wouldn't be the man I am today, the leader I am today, if I hadn't had those dark moments where like really, really like almost hated myself, bro. And I can't even say that out loud nowadays, because like your thoughts, your mindset is so important. When you have this negative view on yourself, like how are you supposed to make any change or do anything important in the world? So that was probably one of my dark moments.
Bro, I fucking got shivers just hearing you speak about that, because I had the same thing happen, bro. I was playing rugby, dislocated shoulder, and that was the only thing that I knew. That was my identity. And, my school didn't have a rugby team, but I played in the summers because my buddy invited me. We did well. Got like third in Ontario, killed it. Then we come to school and we started our own rugby team. We got our history teacher to be the teacher there. We got some like 2 older guys.
20 guys scraped together a team.
Come here, trying to steal the football guys over. Yo, this is better. Come here, We got these 2 older guys from Mohawk College to come and like coach and help. bro, we lost every single game. It was terrible. Like you're like, but it was so much fun. And
I bet you missed that camaraderie, the
Bro.
like practices, even not just the games, like the real like
Yeah, man.
brotherhood you built.
bro, it was incredible. And you know what? Like I think that was one of the like defining, like, because you know Ontario, right? Bro, it's a melting pot. You got every single race there.
Yeah.
Bro, this like deleted racism. There was so much racism that you were so desensitized to it. Like, bro, you got like,
People think Canadians, they're always like, oh, you're so nice. Like, you guys must all love each other, so multicultural. It's like, oh, no, we're polite,
Yeah.
but we coexist, bro. And there's a lot of racism
Absolutely.
there. A lot.
absolutely. And you know what? This is what like really like showed, like in like middle school, we're all boys. Doesn't matter who's who. Then you hit high school, everybody goes to their own people, their own clique. And then you got beefs. You got this and that. But we had machete attacks at the school. We had fights, crazy.
Yeah.
But now you're on the same team. Now you got to go fuck those other guys up. And you're like, bro, all I got is you. All you got is me. Bro, that was one of the most defining like changes of character for me. Cause I'm like, yo, my boys on the rugby team are like better homies than like some of the fucking guys that I share like lineage with or
Right.
countrymen or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And that like, that was important to me and in growing my character. When I lost that, when I like no longer had access to that, same thing, bro. I was like, what the fuck? What do I do?
Mm-hmm.
And bro, I thought I was gonna get into like mechanics. I loved cars. I wanted to like tune ECUs and get cars to 1,000 horsepower. And it was a sick idea back then.
Right.
And after that, bro, because I was like, dude, mechanic, like I got to do an oil change to make $100. That's bullshit. But I make one sick tune. And I could sell that shit online forever, like
Higher
that.
leverage,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? So I was just thinking, how do I get into that? So I had like the tech classes and the auto classes. I dislocate my shoulder, and 3 days later I was making eggs and I fucked up and the oil spilled here and I burned my fucking thumb, almost like second, third degree burn.
Holy shit.
So now I come to school. This is wrapped up. I'm in a sling. I got 3 auto classes, and I'm like, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah.
I dropped out.
Damn.
It was like finally God spoke to me and was like, dude, this is not for you.
It wasn't meant for you.
Just quit. And then same thing like you, like when I you know, I'm like, I gotta go get a job, this and that. I got into sales, and actually an Indian, my first boss was Indian,
Yeah.
and I went to the interview, and I came there, and it was like my interview was at 4:30. I came at 4:15, and dude's like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm Nemanja." Like, what? I'm like, Nemanja, and he had a heavy Indian accent. This guy's like, Nemanja, and I'm like, yeah, and he's like, well, you're late. I'm like, no, I'm early. I'm 15 minutes early. He's like, yeah, but it's the 17th. You're supposed to be here on the 16th. Yeah, but I didn't know that. And in my mind, I'm 15 minutes early. So I think that counts for something.
Mm.
Like, this guy might be good.
Yeah.
All right, you're hired.
You just sold me.
Just sold me.
You sold me on this. What else
was
could you
it.
do?
That
I
was
like
it.
that. I like that.
Yeah. So he gave me the name Nemo because he's like, man, he talks to his wife. He's like, bro, I can't say this guy's fucking name. What was that movie our kid was watching?
Yeah.
Finding some fish. What? Nemo. Nemanja Nemo. Close enough. That's your name now.
I love it.
Fucking rolled with it, bro. Yeah, that was the first day I made, like the first time I ever made $2,000 in a day selling Filter Queen vacuum cleaners door to door. That's a fucking hustle, bro.
Dude, door to
In the
door, like,
winter, you're fucking pulling that thing, bro. Sometimes you got to get in the house just not to freeze.
100%, man. And like nothing builds more character than sales. To me, like I'm glad, like I haven't been in a formal sales role, but you know, I've made a few million with our
Life is
company, with
sales.
my own.
Life
Yeah,
is sales.
everything is sales.
Clients, everything,
And that's
everything.
what I was getting
Yeah.
to. It's like, look, I got to sell my team every day on the vision.
Yeah.
I got to sell myself to get up in the morning and like
Yeah.
care about the thing. I have to. The thing about the difference to me with being an entrepreneur versus like just clocking into a 9 to 5 is like not like I don't have to do anything, but
Yeah.
I have to do everything.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
100%. 100%. And I think that's a wonderful place to be.
Eat what you kill, bro.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like
Yeah.
I know a killer when I see one, and
Yeah.
like ultimately, I have to get it.
Yeah.
If I don't, who will? How are they gonna eat?
Dude.
Like not to make it bigger than it is. I sell
Yeah, yeah.
content, okay? It's
Yeah.
not. No one's dying here.
No
it's,
one's
not,
dying.
it's not life or death. But I kind of got to gaslight myself
Yeah.
into it is, bro.
Mhm.
Like if I don't perform, no one's eating.
That's it.
You know, and my brother works for me full time. I have a staff of 12. Like it's not a big company by any means, but
Yeah.
the most important thing for me is like I got to keep playing the game.
You have
And for me to continue to play the game, like I gotta go and make sure everyone can eat.
Mhm.
I don't want to make it sound bigger than it is, but like, man, we go back in history evolutionarily, like you have to go eat what you kill.
You
And
do.
to me, sales is one of the closest things to that,
Absolutely.
other than like sports.
Absolutely. I think it's like if you ever want to get into anybody that wants to get into entrepreneurship, you need sales. Eventually, you need marketing.
Yeah.
Marketing, as you know, you know, you want to be a millionaire, sell. You want to be a billionaire, market.
100%.
But sales is ultimately how you get everything you want in your
That's
life.
the lifeblood of any business, man.
Anything.
And you know what? Going back to my like origin story, like I think the thing I'm proud of myself for,
Yeah.
and I'll give myself a pat on the back. I sold without having an LLC.
Yeah.
I didn't have no business cards or
Yeah.
incorporation. I didn't care about any of that noise that all my friends, everyone when they're starting a business, they did everything. But I'd be like, yo, but like how much like money do you made? Oh, no. Like I'm waiting till my website's ready. It's like 2 months away. I'm like,
Yeah.
but like you haven't sold anything.
Sell it first.
You could. So
Sell
I'm
it
like,
first,
sell
yeah.
it first. We
Yeah.
figure out the rest later.
Yeah.
Then I did have to incorporate.
Yeah.
Then I did have to like, okay, like maybe we gotta
Yeah.
get a little website for ourselves, like whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like that shit can all come later. Sales is a lifeblood of any machine. Every business dies tomorrow if you don't got people going and making you the money.
Yeah, 100%, bro. You know, my first mentor ever, JT Fox, literally said that. He's like, you ever want to write a book? Sell the book first. When you get 40% sold, then write it. I was like, what the fuck? How does that make sense? He's like, if you can't get a 40% off the title and your own word, no one's going to buy it anyway.
That's true.
So why are you wasting your time?
I love that lesson, man. I gotta take notes. That's a good one.
Right? Bro, what was who was your mentor? Who was your like biggest influence in your life?
Man, I've had many mentors, right? And there's a million people that I could name here, you know, between football coaches that really took me under their wing. You know, there's so many entrepreneurs that I look up to, ex-clients, friends, people who I just like take things from them and I'm like, oh, I like that. I like that. And I do have a few mentors who I meet with on a regular basis that give me a lot of very specific skills that I'm looking for at any given period and help me with strategy. You know, sometimes entrepreneurship can be a lonely game.
Yeah.
You do feel like you're on a bit of an island and you got to kind of make it up as you go every day, right?
That's true.
So sometimes you do need some strategy and direction. And I don't want to get too woo-woo with it on your show here, but to me, the biggest mentor has honestly been God, man.
I love it, bro.
I've really, like, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not the most religious person in the world, but just building that relationship with God, with the universe, having faith has been an antidote of anxiety and chaos for me. It's like having something that grounds me and keeps me focused is building this relationship with, you know, none of this happens without, you know, some kind of external force, whatever you want to call it. I just believe that there's too much had to happen, too many synchronicities.
Yeah.
And it brings me back down to earth because if not, my ego starts to get crazy and I start to think I did this.
Yeah.
I didn't do shit, man. I'm put in the right place at the right time in history to meet people like yourself, everyone, every day. And I try my best to keep myself grounded in that relationship with God, start my morning every day with some kind of prayer and some gratitude, man. Because I've been like the opposite before. I've been almost atheist. I've been almost like against anyone. I'm like, oh, religion is the biggest thing that causes all the problems in the world. Like, it can't be a good thing. Why would God create these bad, horrible things that happen to us all the time? But in, I guess you could say, getting a little bit older and wiser, I realized that this is all so crazy, and building that relationship and having that gratitude, it just is the ultimate mentor. If you're looking for a human being that I do look up to, I really like Naval Ravikant. I really, really love his philosophies. I feel like he's a modern day billionaire, but philosopher.
Right.
And so, you know, if people who are listening to this are, you know, not religious, not into that, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm telling you, for me, that's very important. But Naval Ravikant, listening to his stuff is incredible.
I love it. Love it, dude. No, 100%, man. You know, and you know, you always got to. We're Canadian, right? So we always got to give that like pre-warning of yours, woo woo or not, whatever, you know. But I agree 100%, bro. I think that when I gave my life to God and I just try to serve, I keep getting put in better and better places. Every time I try to do any shit myself, I just realize I'm a fucking retard.
Same.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. It just ego gets in the way. Then I try to feed the ego. Ego tries to control me. It's this fucking inner battle of nothing ever gets done. Nothing happens. And then sometimes you're just like, bro, why am I even doing this? And you have no purpose. And purpose is what drives us. That's the most, like, fuck happiness. Happiness is a fucking emotion. It's fleeting.
Yeah.
But when you look at purpose, bro, when you get the fuck up in the morning, no matter what, you're doing it. And to keep that, like, what's a greater purpose than that?
What's your purpose?
Serving God.
Serving God.
Serving God, yeah.
That's beautiful.
I
bro.
wanna make an impact through him. Like everything that I do, I try to see like I'm like, what can I do that brings me closer?
Wow, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's and that hasn't been always. I also had that phase where I had a high school teacher that was super atheist, and he tried to brainwash everybody. Like, this bullshit science,
Yeah.
and like for an entire semester, I was like battling this. It was my challenge. It was my fight of like battling this thing, and through that battle is like when all of that shit happened. I dislocated my arm, burned my hand. I was like, bro, I have nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
You know, so it was like God like showed me
You
like,
got a
hey,
little sign. It's like, all right.
you know what I mean? I was like, what? And then the woo-woo shit really started, like all that spirituality. You remember, how old are you? You're
I'm 29.
29. So I'm 32. So right around that time, you know, high school, that's when like universe and law of attraction, all
Yeah.
that started popping up. And then everybody kind of went towards there and let's just do some mushrooms, go fucking crazy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But then eventually, after all of that, like, and it was crazy. I even had a girlfriend one time and like, you know, we never got along. It was like one of those like random relationships. But she's like, one day you're going to find God and you're going to go back to him. And that's when everything's going to come together in your life. And like we broke up and whatever, but that always
But that
stuck with me.
you,
You know,
yeah.
that stuck with me. And I was like, what a random thing to say. You know, why would she notice that? And sometimes girls know you better than you know yourself. You know, like they just
Dude,
know how to
trust me.
see into your soul. And like, and I was like, man, this girl, like we never really got along. It was like a random fling, whatever. But that stuck. And I'm like, wow, why is that the one thing that I keep thinking about? And then when it finally like came back to that, it was like I was able to like give up all this stress, all this like worry, all this, and just like allow things to happen.
Yeah.
That's when everything changed.
100%, man. Look, I was living in Miami the last 3.5 years, and I've, you know, had lots of ups and downs with my business, with my content agency. There are sometimes I don't know how I'm going to make rent. And in the ego, in the Miami life, in the whatever,
Yeah.
you start to think, oh man, I just got to work harder. I gotta hustle.
Yeah.
I gotta like, you know, really, I'm going to start waking up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm going to cold plunge.
Cold
do
face water.
Yeah. Do all this crazy stuff like before. And I had this one thing that happened last summer where, bro, we were in a bad spot. Summer's always a little bit slower for my business. I've seen the cycles now every year because all my clients fuck off to the Mediterranean. And
Yeah,
they're-
that makes
you know,
sense,
they're- people with money want to enjoy their summer too.
That's
They're
it.
not thinking about content.
No.
And so, you know, the summers are usually rough, and I'm like, okay, how are we gonna navigate this? And it had gotten real bad. We had then lost a couple clients too, and like, okay, man, the payroll still I still got to make that.
Yeah,
The expenses, you still got to make that. No one cares, you know. No,
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, no one cares. So I'm like, oh, what do I do, man? Like, this is not good. I can't just make up money.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, I don't want to take a crazy loan. Like, what do I do to bridge this gap? And I'll be honest, it was needed like 35,000. I needed that in like a week.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, like, what do I do here? I don't want to pick up the phone and like, you know, hey, bro, like I'm in a bit of a spot. Yeah. I didn't want to do that. And I'm like, man, like, I actually got nothing. Like, usually I can come up with an idea and I can, you know, hey, I'll give you a discount, pay for a year.
Something.
You know, nothing. I had exhausted my options, and I sit there with my business partner, and we usually have these war rooms where we'll sit down and we'll pull out the whiteboard and we'll come up with something. We pull out the whiteboard, nothing. And I'm like, look, bro, I don't know what to do. But we'll figure it out. It's now like 2 a.m. Nothing's getting done here. Let's sleep on it. That night, I had asked God, and I hadn't had the strongest relationship with God. And I'm like, hey, I know I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
A bad time. I know how it looks. I promise. If you help me out here, I'll ask when things are good too. And but what I asked for was the strength to let go. I'm trying to control everything, bro. I'm trying to I think I got it all figured out. Bro, I got this gut feeling that week. I got to go to New York City. And I was living in Miami. I had clients in New York and stuff, but I didn't have a big book of business there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just got to go. I tell Jamie, my business partner, I'm like, look, I know like some of these credit cards are maxed out, but we got some Amex points. I'm going to just fly there, get a hotel. And I don't know why. I just have to go there. He's like, sure, bro. I couldn't even get the hotel on points because you got to pay first and then you get reimbursed on the points. Car got declined, bro. And I'm like, man, I had this one credit card that I hadn't I hadn't used yet. It still had
Yeah.
the sticker on it. I'm like, yo, bro, you gotta just trust me on this. I'm putting it on this card. I go to New York, long story short. I line up a bunch of meetings and I go into some offices that I got no business being in, and I collect the 30K. Like, I just do it. I just close the deals.
Yeah.
And that's cash collected. That's not like the terms of these clients. And these aren't big numbers. This isn't anything that exciting, but that saved my business. And we were able to get through, and I was able to get some more deals and whatever. That's all God, bro. That
Yeah.
was not
Yeah,
me.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't do that.
Yeah.
That was like
Because the guidance. It's the guidance, right?
100%.
That's the thing. You execute and you do the shit in front of you.
Of course, you
but
still got to
you
perform.
still got to perform. But it's that fucking, like, why New York? Where the fuck did that come from?
Super random.
Random.
Yeah.
Right? There was a video, this dude, fucking Brady McDonald, man, what a fucking beast. This guy runs like 100 fucking mile marathons. He's like a super fucking, and he didn't always do this. He did really well in Canada. Awesome, like super, super technical guy, like one of the best, like real estate investors, like methodical, strategic. And I made a mistake not investing into the mentorship that he first had when I first met him.
Okay.
It was like $7.5 grand. I'm like, holy fuck, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, I'm already doing decent on flips. What do I really need to know more? You know, like
Yeah. Of
arrogance,
course.
right?
Yeah.
And then COVID hit. I got fucking stop work orders on my fucking flips. City coming in. I had to make up bullshit that like all these guys live together. They're all brothers. You know, like they're in the same house anyway. They share the same car. They work in the same house. Who really cares?
Yeah.
And bro, when it was getting bad, I was like, bro, I don't know when this is gonna end.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's ever gonna end.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't live like this. Vaccine passports, all this like
Don't
bullshit.
get me started on
I'm
that.
like, yo,
man.
I can't exist in this world. And he fucking posted a video on Instagram. He's like, yo, I'm having a mastermind, 5K, come through. It's in fucking Barrie. I'm like, bro, I fucked up the
Was
first
it Canadian
time.
or
Canadian,
US?
Canadian.
Okay.
And I'm like, yo, I'm coming. He's like, yeah. So I went there, and it just like the opportunity just came. I just took it, and then he's like, yo, I'm having another one in Cape Coral, Florida. And I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I was always against it because I'm like, yo, I'm in my own backyard. You know, Canadian, super conservative, right? I'm like, yo, if I can't drive to the place and like pick
Can't
up Home
work with
Depot shit
Canadian
myself,
clients
you know,
anymore, bro.
bro, no, it's fucking
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. It's so like hard to get them out of the shell. And I was like that too. I was so conservative,
Same.
so scared, so like risk averse. Then I'm like, all right, well, if this is not working, I have to do something else. I'm going to Cape Coral. I went there and everything opened up. And you know, when you get to Florida, bro, there's some fucking magic that happens.
That's crazy.
It just, everything opens up. You got to be careful of the bullshit. There's a lot of
For
fucking
sure.
bullshit.
For sure.
You know, trust but verify. But the opportunities and the openness is there. Whereas in Canada, you're like searching for fucking opportunities all the time,
Yeah.
fighting against. It's like a heavy energy. Down there, it just flows. And it's like, how did that happen? I executed. I did the things, but the thing that just like drew me towards that and like showed me. And I remember like the internal dialogue of like, you didn't do it the first time. You could have probably made more.
Yeah.
If you just did it then.
Mhm.
You didn't trust it then.
Mm-hmm.
But if you miss this, what else are you gonna do? And I didn't see any other play on the table, you know?
Bro, I went to business school and I learned nothing about business. I learned nothing about it. And so when I made this little check with the city, and mind you, I still have my job. And I
Yeah.
kept my job, by the way, for like a couple years
Yeah.
after. All right. I felt like an imposter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making this money, but this isn't a business.
No.
I can't repeat this. Like, this just fell in my lap. This is cool. I felt so insecure. I'm like, man, like, what even is sales? Like, I'm watching these videos. I'm like, I can't use a script. Like, this just feels weird. You know, what is marketing? Like, oh, where am I gonna get ad spend? Like, I just didn't understand all these different areas that I got to worry about. Then HR, then accounting, then legal, everything. And I'm just like, I just don't know anything. So where did all that money go? All the profit from that? Bro, I invested it all in mentorship,
Yeah.
coaching, courses.
100%.
Now, I will say, I learned nothing in the courses.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the courses. It was the people.
The people, right?
Those people that I met in those early investment
Yeah.
courses, they helped me overcome that, I guess you could call it that imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And some of those people are some of my closest friends today, closer
Agreed.
than a lot of family. A lot of my family members, you know, didn't really support me. You know, again, risk averse and immigrants and in Canada. Bro, save every dollar, clutch it to your chest. I didn't know what abundance meant. I didn't know what, like, I learned in these courses and programs and from talking to people, go sit at 5-star hotels.
Yeah.
Go absorb the energy of wealthy
That's
people.
right.
I'm like, at first I'm like, but I don't got like, I'm not one of them. They're like, yeah, not with that attitude. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. So like I started doing that. And some of these people, I would get on calls with them, practice my sales skills with them. Some of these people, you know, they would teach me like one little trick about marketing or one heady like woo-woo thing, spiritual thing from their ayahuasca retreat or mushroom thing, whatever. And I'm just taking these things and I'm applying it, and I'm still figuring it out every day. But the point is investing in learning from people who are ahead of you, bro. That's not losing money. Going to college, maybe that was like a big loss of money. I don't regret anything, but that people go into crazy amounts of debt,
It's
but
the highest ROI.
they're afraid to pay $5,000 because it's a scammer.
No, it's the highest ROI. Honestly, like investing in yourself, coaching, mentorship is the highest ROI. You want to go somewhere, find someone who's been there. Pay them to show you how to get there. That's it. Done.
And it's a cheat code. You leapfrog so many levels.
Yeah.
Like, sure, okay, at the very beginning, you have no money. Go to YouTube University. That's what I did. That's what most people did.
Yeah.
You can find most of the knowledge. But if you want to go fast, just drop the money. Throw it on the fucking credit card. I don't care. I will say that. Don't be irresponsible. Don't go buy 10 courses. But, do the thing that scares you a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I might lose this $5,000. Yeah, or you might 10x it.
Yeah. And it's the connections every time, bro. Listen, I remember I went to, it was like Labor Day weekend. We're on the 2 biggest yachts in Miami. We're just chilling, hanging out there. And it was like, this guy asked me, and I was already pretty trained, right? I already spent fucking hundreds of thousands on coaching, mentorship, everything. So this one kid asked me, he's like, hey man, I got to be here because like I work for these guys, but like you got the VIP table, and these guys like are in the back. They're the same place, and they paid like fucking like almost nothing. But you're paying like $10,000 to be at the VIP table. These guys paid like $1,000 to be in the thing. And you're still listening to the same shit. Like, why would you do that? And I'm like, bro, I paid $10,000 for the VIP table, so those guys sit in the back and not beside me. Because everybody that I met here, there's potential to do business. We pay $10,000, so the people that can't don't sit with us. And even if you don't have the $10,000, try to find it. Because if you're the fucking poorest person at a $10,000 VIP table, where do you think you're going to fucking average out to? Or go be the big G with the $1,000 fucking players, and they're all the same fucking guys like you. Yeah. And you don't need more people like you. You need people better than you, bro. I love when I go hang out with my friends or my fucking business partners, bro. I'm like, I'm the poorest guy in the fucking room. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. But it's fucking motivating.
It is, man. And it levels you up so much. Like, people will get you thinking like so much bigger. And so, what I'm starting to find now, like, I don't want to sit here and act like I figured business out, like, or anything like that. I'm still very much learning every day. Yeah. But it is so much easier to start thinking of like 100x opportunities than like even 10x. Yeah. Like, it just starts to, you're like, okay. Like, I don't want to, a lot of people will be like, how to double your business in the next year. I'm like, that sounds boring, bro. I want a 10x. I want 100. I want to hang out with the people who I got no business hanging out with. But I know I can sell, and I know I got good vibes. People are going to rock with me, even if I don't got their bank accounts or anything like that. Yeah. But how can I transfer respect, and how can I be a student? Like, come in with the humility of like, I actually don't know anything. I would love, to have 15 minutes of your time to kick me some game. And you know what, bro? Most people who are at that level are more than down to like help someone who they see themselves in.
It's gratifying, bro.
But the guy who's flexing the Lambo, the chains, the crazy stuff, but like trying to act like the Palm Beach guy who actually owns the yacht, he doesn't want to play around with that stuff,
No, it's true. Yeah. Bro, honestly, I think one of the biggest, most important things, I really want to add this. There's 2 things that I noticed, right? You can go network and find amazing people when they're having fun. They're the easiest to find when they're having fun. You can go to cool places, meet them, hang out. The hardest thing is to find them when they're actually doing the shit that affords them that. The easiest way to get into that is you got to work for free. Working for free was some of the best fucking gains I ever got. Where my first mentor, she was like, Nemo, you've been coming to this mastermind event for fucking 5 years. Like, what are you trying to do? I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to get more out of life. And she's like, well, you ever thought about real estate? I was like,
What were you doing before that?
I was doing HVAC.
Okay,
I had a
okay.
construction company that had HVAC company, and then I was doing well, but I was still like, there's more to life. Like, how do I access that? So I went to these like events. Intelligent Millionaire Network, it was in Toronto. I went for 5 years straight. I only missed 2 months when my grandpa passed away in Europe. But 5 years straight, every single month, I was there. And fucking Hamilton, Toronto, fucking 2-hour commute. It's bullshit. But I went. And he's like, I seen you come to every single event. And why are you doing this? I'm like, I just want more out of life. I just want, like, what's next for me? Like, I'm doing okay. And I just know that at this point in my life, I'm either going to start buying fucking cars and Lambos and shit. And even though I can maybe afford it, I can afford a payment. I can't cash it out, but I can afford the payment. I'm just going to start fucking around spending this shit. Or I got to do something with it. I got to invest it, but I don't even know what that means. And have you ever thought about real estate? I'm like, well, I mean, it sounds cool. Like, I've worked on real estate. I've never owned real estate. How does that work? And she's like, dude, come to my event, be the camera guy, and sign people in, and maybe you'll learn something. I'm like, I'll be there. And she's like, what? You don't even know when it is. I'm like, it doesn't fucking matter. I will fucking be there.
I'll make it work, yeah.
I'll make it work. I did so much random free shit for her just to, like, get that knowledge. We became super great friends, still friends to this day.
Wow.
Like, I can call her right now. She'll be like, hey, what do you need? Like, that kind of relationship. And, bro, she sells, like, $20,000 to $50,000 coaching packages. She has fucking, like, almost, like, a fucking pretty sizable, like, real estate portfolio. She's a coach, speaker, like, powerhouse of a woman. But taught me everything for free.
Wow.
Because I was working for free.
Right.
And most people are like, whoa, what are you going to pay me? And I'm like, bro, like, well, I don't need you. You know what I mean? Like, even right now, like, some people, like, you want to help them, right? Like, well, what are you going to pay me? I'm like, what? Like, there was a receptionist. It's a funny story. There was a receptionist. She's like, well, I want to make more money. I'm like, cool. Why don't you take care of some of the, marketing on the hotel? Oh, yeah, okay. As soon as you got to call her after, like, 6 p.m., it's not a shift. Like, oh, well, I'm not getting paid for this. Like, well, did you want the opportunity or not? Like, why am I going to pay? If I want a professional, I'll go get a professional marketer.
So many people say they want something,
Yeah.
but then it really comes down to it. How bad do they actually want
How bad
it?
do you actually want it?
They're not willing to put their ego aside. You don't know how much free work we did when
Holy fuck.
we started our company, man,
Yeah.
just to open those doors, just to learn from people. So much money I've lost, but then so many lessons and so much valuable network that I've gained that has made me so much more. It's
Absolutely.
hard. A balance sheet won't always show it.
That's it.
Like when I first went to Miami, I dropped $50K on this one mastermind. And that was a lot of money for me. I was living in Colombia at the time. I'm not used to $50K on anything, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a crazy studio here, but this might be like the most, expensive room in like this in Provenza. And we're in the most expensive part of Colombia, bro.
Yeah.
But all that to say, I go from $1 Ubers to like I'm in Miami and I drop the CC. I'm like, let's do it.
Yeah.
And ultimately, at first, like I didn't get an ROI.
No.
I did not. But the killers I met in that group, so worth it.
That's
but
what it's
did
for.
I learn anything in the course and the actual like long list of how these masterminds work?
course.
You get this access to this dinner, this event, whatever.
But you got to make it work.
You have
got to make it work.
You have to make it
Nobody
work.
fucking owes you anything.
100%.
You got to make it work.
100%.
Dude, let me ask you, what was your biggest mistake?
Oh man, my biggest mistake. Well, I do look at all of these like lessons and I try not to dwell or regret. I don't really think about the past too much. I'm kind of a little too obsessed with the future. Maybe I'm trying to bring it more into present. I'm working on that. But when I do look back at the past, my biggest mistake, bro, I've been running this company now, my company with my business partner the last 4.5 years. We were COVID, baby. We started this thing during COVID. And we start to get a little bit of success. And then when I moved down here, we make more money in the first month that I quit my job, come down here, go all in on my thing, than I did the whole business up until then, right? And I wish I documented the whole journey, man.
Ooh.
I wish I put one YouTube video out every week of the last 4 years. Because to me, we've made a lot of other people a lot of money.
Yeah.
We've made a lot of other people viral and have, we've done like almost 500 million views, 250,000. Like we've done crazy amounts of, followers, views, dollars. We've made people millions and millions of dollars. That's all great. What do we do for ourselves though? It's an agency.
Yeah.
I get hit by a bus. My partner gets hit by a bus. There's no business. There's no value. Why did we not document the journey the entire time? And look, I did my podcast, but even that, bro, there's like almost 8-9 months in Miami when I'm so operator mode. I'm so focused on like systemizing the business and hiring and expanding and trying to scale to like I put my podcast on the side, and I wish that I had gone all in on YouTube. I think that platform is incredible. You don't need to go viral.
Yeah.
You can have a video do 500 views but make you $1 million. I see it all the time. YouTube is the play. YouTube, to me, I think, look, TikTok, and I'm going to be shitting on my own business a little bit here, but like a TikTok view is not really worth that much because the conversion. But if someone watches a 30-minute video on your YouTube and they're
fucking invested.
They're your fan for life at a minimum, or your client right away.
Yeah.
So they want what you're selling, whether it be your personality, whether it be your coach, your mentorship, or just working with you or being a fan of you. I think YouTube is the strongest platform for that.
Wow.
Instagram does a good job of building a parasocial relationship where people get to stay in touch with you with the stories and stuff all the time. But a TikTok view is great for exposure and getting your name out there, but not necessarily for sales. Now, mind you, we've sold yachts and private jet charters and all kinds of crazy stuff on TikTok, but to me, I wish that I made, like, even if it was a shitty video on my iPhone once a week. This is what we're going through as business owners, as young entrepreneurs, because I always tell people with my podcast, what's the real purpose? Why am I doing it? Well, to me, my purpose is realizing potential, my own, helping others, and eventually the world.
Yeah.
Not at stage 3 yet, but I do help myself and help others become the best version of myself every day. Just 1% better. I wish I documented that more clearly, but the second best time is now. So I've started doing that. The last couple months, I've been documenting everything on YouTube, highs and lows.
Yeah.
And it's scary sometimes admitting things like about business, about life, about personal, like there's some things I will not talk about, but I've decided to be radically transparent on there. And you know what, man? I've had people call me crying. I've had thousands of DMs pour in from people.
Wow.
And my channel right now doesn't even have 850 subscribers. I'm not even at 1,000 subscribers yet. But the 300-400 views I get on my videos, bro, those are 300 people that I personally know or that discovered me that are like locked in forever, and they're calling me, they're texting me. That's, to me, more beautiful, and that's only going to snowball and grow.
Yeah.
Think of the next 4 years. If I keep doing that every single week, I might not ever need to sign a client again. The personal brand is worth a lot more. That's why all the Hormozis and this and that, the Gary V's of the world, why do you think they subject themselves to becoming famous public figures if not for the impact you can do at scale through content? I'm a big believer of that. That's the biggest mistake I made. I run a damn content agency. I'm not making myself pop. Come on, man. I gotta be better. Like, I gotta lead by example. So
absolutely,
now I'm doing that.
I love it, brother. I love it. Fuck yeah, man. Your story's been fucking inspirational. That's we share a lot of similar things. So
100%, bro.
I can feel some of the things when you go. I'm like, fuck, that sucked for me too.
Bro, I feel like we could talk for hours, and I can't wait to have you on my show as well.
I'm fucking excited, man. I'm excited. Let's get into the rapid fire round. Sure. Right, so this is pretty easy. Book that changed your life.
Ooh, right now, Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell.
Okay, cool.
I'm in the process right now of ruthlessly auditing every minute of my day, and I'm spending a lot of it on bullshit. $10 tasks. Still, I still have to learn that lesson. Dan Martell lines it up so well in Buy Back Your Time. Really, really good stuff.
Love it. What would 18-year-olds say about you now?
Man, he'd say, "Look at that guy go! Look at that guy go! He's when he walks into a room, people respect him, and they might not even know him. When he talks, people listen. Lean in on that, bro. Like, don't forget who you are."
Boom, I love that, bro. What's your biggest red flag in a person?
My biggest red flag in a person, when you meet them, they start flexing about what they have materially. I think that it's very corny. I think it tells me a lot about where your priorities are, and it tells me that you're probably going to view me as part of a transaction. And although a lot of life and business is transactional, you know, at its very nature, I don't think you got to lead with that, bro. We'll get there naturally, organically, but I don't care about your Patek Philippe right now. Like, tell me about your soul.
Yeah. I love that. What's the best money you ever spent?
Oh, the best money I ever spent. That's a good one. Kind of contradictory to the previous question.
The Patek Philippe.
No, for me, the best money I ever spent was on that first course. That first, it was this program called the Client Acquisition Immersion Program. The worst name of all time, but the most killers ever. I was on Twitter back in the day, like in high school, you know, we would tweet everything.
Yeah.
What we have for lunch, whatever. But I met some cool people on this side of Twitter that were all making internet money, and I was just fascinated by them. And a lot of those people are some of my good friends today. And that was the thing that helped me get over my insecurity with not knowing business.
I fucking love that. What's one belief you've changed your mind on recently?
Ooh, recently. Well, I used to think that I am in complete control of everything in my life all the time.
Right.
Like, and I do believe in extreme ownership and accountability.
Right.
And taking control and charge of your life. But I think recently I've actually learned to submit and kind of let go of that control and letting God's invisible hand kind of take over and realize I actually don't really have much control at all. I just need to, you know, in the moment, do the best I can, try to be a good person, and the path will be carved out for me.
Boom. Wow, that's beautiful, bro. That's going to go really well into the next one, okay? Final words, right? If you had 60 seconds to leave a message to the world, what would it be?
Man, to me, and there's no such thing as a neutral interaction with people. It can either be negative or positive. You do have the choice. That's the thing I do believe, that you have the choice of what taste are you going to leave in this person's mouth?
Yeah.
Whether it be the cleaning lady, the random person in the elevator, or the billionaire, how are you going to like treat them?
Yes.
With that one moment that you have with them. You do have a choice in that. You could be having the shittiest day. You could be going through a divorce. Your cat could have just died. Something really horrible could happen to yourself.
Yeah.
But you could choose to not pass that on. You can choose to interrupt that pattern. And I believe that is actually how we make the world a better place. As corny as that sounds, one interaction at a time. And we have the choice, man. You don't have to pass on. If someone cuts you off in traffic, you could just smile and be like, yo, maybe they're in a rush. Like maybe their grandma's in the hospital. They gotta get somewhere. All good, bro. Then you actually don't disturb your own peace.
Yeah.
And reality just becomes a bit more fun.
Fuck, that's a good one, bro. I love that.
Appreciate it, bro.
Dude, where can people connect with you?
Instagram is the easiest way, at deepaksharma.co. And that's where I check my DMs and stuff the most. But also my YouTube channel. I mean, I was talking about that a little bit earlier. That's where I can go a little bit deeper, a little bit longer, and you can get to know me, without meeting me in person yet.
Hey, that's right. Because when I saw you, I was like, oh, bro, I'm never gonna meet this guy. Why would I meet this guy? He's interviewing Tate. And then like 4 years later, what is 5 years later?
That's crazy, man.
Bro.
No, but hey, one thing I'll leave you with, bro.
Yeah.
First of all, I appreciate you having me on. This is incredible. But I never look at any human at any other than eye level.
Yeah.
We are all the same. We are all one. Whether it's Tate or Oprah or anyone,
whoever.
We all put our pants on one leg at a time.
Yeah.
We all got to take a shit like everybody else. We're all on an equal playing field.
And everybody's accessible.
100%.
You're like 3-4 people away from anybody.
100%.
From anybody. Brother, thank you so much for coming on the show, my man.
Appreciate you, my man.
Dude, can't wait to be on yours.
Hell yeah. It's going to be fun.
Till next time. Peace.
Awesome.
Bro,
that was great, bro.
Sick, bro.
That was Deepak Sharma. Man, what really hit home was when he flew to New York with no plan, no cash, just a gut feeling, and walked out with $30,000 that saved his business. Or when he admitted that his superpower is that he's lazy, but knows how to delegate and build around it. The level of self-awareness, that's rare. And isn't it wild how his whole journey started in a $400 attic and somehow led to a team, a podcast, a movement? It just makes you think, maybe the leap does come before the skill. Maybe all it really takes is conviction and the guts to say yes before you're ready. Keep moving, keep building, and keep becoming. This is Nemology.